more Mario talk. Let's talk Super Mario RPG. Double whammy of creative, big, attractive Mario games between Super Mario Bros. Wonder and Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars getting a remake. A beautiful announcement. That and Mario Wonder being the peaks of the direct, in my opinion at least, both even implying a larger picture for both the RPG brand of Mario, but honestly the entire Mario franchise from here on if things stay on the course. But let's zone in on Mario RPG for a while. Super Mario RPG getting remade after 27 years. That is such a big deal. Mario RPG is an immensely beloved classic. Kind of a cult classic, but millions adore this game. Rights to some of its characters have been a little wishy-washy, looking at Geno's absence in that minigame in the Superstar Saga remake, and a few other things alongside Paper Mario being the spiritual successor to that game, and it and Mario and Luigi carrying the torch for the RPG branch for quite a while. So the fact this game is getting remade at all is remarkable, on top of how incredible it looks. I can't really picture any other way this remake could have gone better. The way they're reimagining the stubbier, smushed look of the Mario characters, it's basically perfect. And it's funny because Nintendo had games like Link's Awakening or Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, where they got remade and maintained that chibi look, despite the reason why they looked like that back in the day was literally because of the hardware those games were on. There was only so much you could express with those sprites and the power of both the Game Boy and the DS. Same with Mario RPG, back on the SNES being sprite-based, but Mario RPG always had this stubby, chibi look to it between the game's look and the box art and renders of the characters. Like, it always was intended to look like this, unlike Link's Awakening or BDSP. Link's Awakening looks good, it has tons of supporters, but there was a stark disapproval with Pokemon doing it between the intent of the characters and look of Pokemon at that point, being a remake made during Gen 8. So them doing it for Mario RPG when they always meant to look like this, I think was a smart move. And Jesus, oh my god, the game looks amazing. It's pretty much the sprite work brought to life. The amount of soul on display with all the great colors, the amazing additional cutscenes that are giving Mario, Peach, Bowser, Geno, Mallow, and everyone all this extra character and personality, it's glorious. It's basically a very pure remake of Mario RPG, and in this decade-long dichotomy of character originality, story, and gameplay divisions, especially with the RPGs, it's incredibly welcome. Even down to the characters and such. Croco, Mac, the Chancellor of the Mushroom Kingdom with his mustache, the townspeople of the kingdom, female Toads, alongside Geno, Mallow, Smithy, like everyone's here. The Mario and Luigi remake went and changed the Toad-specific redesigned characters back to more standard Toads, but despite this being another Mario RPG remake, they're still here in all of their glory. And I'm very happy an entire new generation of Nintendo and Mario fans get to experience a game like Mario RPG for the first time, especially with this coat of paint. I never got to finish the original, I stopped at some point for whatever reason. It and Mario + Rabbids Sparks of Hope are the only Mario RPGs I've yet to plow through. But similar to Paper Mario and Mario & Luigi, Mario RPG is another weird, unique, wild, and creative-ass Mario story and Mario game. The bosses, the characters, the story, the humor, the team-up with Mario, Peach, and Bowser. Mario RPG was the very first game where Bowser was on the good guy team. This was the very first game to do that. Topped with Yoko Shimomura remastering the soundtrack, Mario RPG's ticking every box basically, and I implore people to give this game a shot if they've never played it. I'm encouraging myself to get through the original now that this is coming out. We might do a let's play on that, let me know if anyone's interested. The last thing I remember was the sewers location. I promise you I did not get that far on my original run on Wii Virtual Console. My SNES Classic works like a charm, so I'm feeling the itch to use that instead. But if you like either RPGs or Mario, Super Mario RPG should be a cop for you, an easy-ass cop. I can't encourage people enough to pick any specific Mario RPG, let alone the one that it started it all, and it still holds up remarkably well. But I think Super Mario RPG's remake is emblematic of the current shift in the Mario franchise in that Nintendo's starting to re-embrace the weird side of Mario again. 2D Mario used to follow this extremely sanitized, by-the-books formula for Mario. Now there are all these new characters, mechanics, new art style, and other stuff in Super Mario Bros. Wonder that makes it feel significantly more distinct from every other 2D Mario. Super Mario Odyssey reintroducing the sandbox formula, and introducing new mechanics and ideas on top, putting Mario in all these weird and awesome locations, these cool bosses, just weird and creative stuff since the Galaxy games, Bowser's Fury doing something similar with its entire design and condensed structure, a brand new Princess Peach game coming out next year. A type of experimental Mario game Nintendo has not done in over 15 years, the entire existence of Mario plus Rabbids, especially Sparks of Hope, and now this Mario RPG remake that's preserving all of the craziness and off-the-wall characters and story elements of the original. Nintendo seemingly trying to push Mario against the grain in most of his games now, even the ones where it felt they'd never be allowed to push the bar or experiment with any further. Only Mario, Luigi, and Toads are playable in the 2D games. No spin-off characters, keep the exact same world themes, don't expand on them or change it or the game anywhere beyond it. Keep it as close to the original trilogy as much as possible. But now, Daisy's a playable character, a spin-off specific character. They're experimenting with more level and world themes, the Wonder Flower, changing multiple elements in a variety of ways. 2D Mario broke from its tradition. Mario always having this sanitized, clean, family-friendly image to present. No other franchise could ever mingle or touch it, maybe Sonic in the Olympics. But Miyamoto in particular said, as long as you bring something new to the table for Mario, the Rabbids are allowed to touch the Mario world. Miyamoto allowed a franchise like the Rabbids, of all things, to mingle with Mario, and specifically asked for something original Mario's never done before. And now, with this remake, I can't stress the fact it being a remake does not matter. Nintendo's on board with bringing back and reimagining all these crazy characters, bringing Mario back to a wilder, more involved, multi-layered story, giving the Toads these varied designs, introducing these non-Mario-like characters. Other characters coming from different dimensions entirely. Like, a lot of Mario games this generation are becoming weirder, more creative, oozing so much more personality in so many games lately that they wouldn't have for years before now, and are breaking away from what people expect from Mario, and I believe that is a really good thing. Mario's going in a much bolder direction from all of this, and I'm super happy we're getting a lot more weird Mario in general again, after kind of a long time. It's fun, it spices up what we're used to from this series, even when the roots of a lot of these subgenres are intact and maintained. And at least as far as the RPG side of everything, I think the grander scope of Mario RPGs as a whole will also be okay in the long run. After this, Nintendo's reigniting the branch on their side, ironically, with the game that started it all. And you factor the Switch's unbelievable install base and active users, Mario RPG's cult following, quote-unquote, and there being an entire populace of Nintendo and Mario fans wanting more Mario-focused RPGs that's continually growing. I fully expect Super Mario RPG to be a considerable success, at least more than the original game, at least double the amount the original sold, but I do think Mario RPG will be a pretty big success as far as Mario RPGs go. And because of that, I don't think Nintendo and Square Enix will just let it end at the remake. If it becomes a big enough success, I think there's a genuine, viable shot at Mario RPG getting a direct sequel. I'm not talking Paper Mario, I'm not talking Mario and Luigi, even when Paper Mario was originally meant as Super Mario RPG 2. Like, they keep making more Mario RPG games in the style of Mario RPG more closely. Even when I didn't get that far in my original run, I know full well Super Mario RPG, Paper Mario, and Mario and Luigi. All three of them do not play that much alike. They're Mario RPGs and all, but the gameplay mechanics and battling is different across all three. The storytelling and writing, they are remarkably different. Their comedy's different. There are different characters across all three. Their styles are different. And for more than a decade back during the mid-90s and late 2000s, we've had multiple different types of Mario RPGs exist with zero conflict, zero controversy between each other. Everyone who played the Mario RPGs basically loved them a lot. They're all still very unique Mario games and adventures, even compared to each other. And since Alpha Dream's bankruptcy, long after Paper Mario abandoned its RPG stuff, with only Mario plus Rabbids picking up the slack, Mario RPGs for a little while seemed wildly enigmatic. Does Nintendo care about maintaining them? Does Nintendo value Mario and Luigi anymore? The constant returning question of whether or not Intelligent Systems will ever re-embrace the original Paper Mario formula in either gameplay or storytelling. Like, it was super hard to tell before this, and now it's pretty easy to suspect Mario RPG might be a considerable success, again as far as Mario RPGs go. And it might even warrant Square Enix to invest in making more RPGs focused on the Mario franchise again. But Nintendo still has an interest in maintaining Mario RPGs all the same. Super Mario RPG is basically preserving Mario RPGs, and I don't think it'll stop at just Mario RPG as well. Even if it doesn't change, Paper Mario has had an audience for quite a while. But with all these other Mario games, including Mario RPG, re-embracing the weirder side of Mario again, and doing more unique designs on its characters and Toads, at the bare minimum, Paper Mario's gotta be able to do the same thing there. I've been saying this for years at this point. the whole character restriction thing has been a Paper Mario specific problem all on its own for no reason. Their reasoning was some strict IP team saying they can't change the designs to any crazier degree with outfits, gender, hair, etc., and are allowed a very small selection of brand new characters per game, despite Mario Odyssey giving new characters, Luigi's Mansion 3, now this untitled Peach game, games like Mario Kart Tour, Mario Tennis, Mario Strikers, and Mario Golf altering the characters' designs pretty considerably multiple times, and now Mario RPG maintaining all of that alongside original Toad characters and designs too. Anyone who's followed me knows I didn't believe this Mario mandate, Mario restriction bullshit for a while now. Practically every other Mario game on Switch, for the most part, is basically doing exactly what people want Paper Mario to do, in both the character thing and innovating off a gameplay format that actually worked and is fun. Not only that, even for those who like the whole hyper-focus on paper recent games did, you and I both know there's only so much they can do with that hyper-focus and thematic tie to arts and crafts. People joke and meme for the next game being Paper Mario pencil pushers, crayon crashers, like that's becoming the bare minimum and expected standard for Paper Mario now. And at least speaking for myself, I'm speaking for myself right now, that is so boring. Every other Mario game, including past Mario and Luigi's and Paper Mario, where the world, story, and writing and such are grounded into the world, and the characters and setting they create, like it's trying to tell a legitimate story with real people and events living through them, that is far more creative and malleable to do something like that than forcing Paper Mario to have an arts and crafts specific pull. And with multiple Mario games doing more weird, magical ideas and characters again, at the bare minimum for more unique characters, Paper Mario's gotta be allowed to do that again at this point. With the restriction thing, or whatever mandate, people call it mandates, the only real things that have had to have existed around then is between two different things. Either that character restriction was true, and they've loosened up significantly since, or they were just talking out of their butt. I'm not gonna assume which one was which, cause none of us truly know which was the case, but at this point in time, that restriction, there is no way that still holds water, with no other Mario games basically following it now, on top of the Paper Mario team saying they've had complete creative control since at least Color Splash. Best case scenario though, up to the Paper Mario situation at least, they make that an RPG again, alongside the character thing. Again, if Mario and Luigi and Paper Mario existed for over a decade, being two Mario RPGs, achieving different things, they can stand to make Paper Mario an RPG again, especially when there is a considerable demand for Paper Mario to do so. We now have two Mario RPGs coexisting between this RPG remake and Mario plus Rabbids. Sparks of Hope is literally an RPG. Nintendo and even Ubisoft and Square Enix see no problem in having more than one type of Mario RPG, like they ever did, really. And B, as far as updating or changing the model, Fables, Born of Red, and other Paper Mario inspired indie games have proven that RPG format can be altered and expanded upon. It can be changed, it can change, and it can still be fun and well designed. Change all on its own? Would you guys believe me if I still get comments on this whole change bullshit? Change all on its own is not the issue with Paper Mario's gameplay. The problem is, for more than a decade at this point, the new gameplay design, particularly the battling, is just poor. It's poorly designed. Everyone hates how battling works 3 games in a row. That directly correlates to the actual design and structure of the game. You go back to the RPG format with the star points and the XP and the attacks and whatnot, you return to the roots, there's still room to innovate and change stuff to make it fresher and more unique than before. Thousand Year Door did exactly that from 64. Odyssey does exactly that from the sandbox formula. Super Mario Bros. Wonder is exactly doing that for the 2D Mario, and the indie-inspired Paper Mario games did that to Thousand Year Door exactly as well. Fables, the turn relay, there's new mechanics in that game. Paper Mario, the first 2, Thousand Year Door, they have never ever done that before. And that is a fresh new take on an original formula. The RPG formula is just inherently better designed and more customizable with the badges, the partners, the XP, the attacks, etc. than whatever this new thing is. The badges especially make those games remarkably replayable because its design is just that good. That's why people want the gameplay to just take you back to form and go back to that branch instead of whatever this branch is, with the puzzles and 5 attacks you can only choose from the vast majority of the time. Same for the characters, story, scope, writing, and such. So I have more confidence in intelligence systems at least being able to use more original designs and characters in general in their Paper Mario games from here on like they did from Super. If they revive the RPG format, all the better, but the story and character stuff at least stands to re-meeting the series standard again on every front. The best case scenario in the grand scheme though, in the entire picture though, is if we get 3 Mario RPG series, 4 if you count Mario plus Rabbids, and we see Nintendo does value Mario and Luigi enough to either relegate them to a different studio in-house or to a third-party company. It's been almost 8 years since Paper Jam, the last new Mario and Luigi game that came out, the last remake being 2019. Mario & Luigi has had an audience of millions consistently on the lookout for their games, and once their development studio went kaput, that's the only enigmatic Mario RPG series at this point. And even when the RPGs aren't the most popular Mario sub-series, they are some of the most beloved games ever. Those who play any of these RPGs adore the heck out of these Mario games. And most Mario & Luigi games are one of those RPGs. There is no way Nintendo would just let Mario & Luigi completely fade away when that's another series they could stand to revitalize as well. None of these games have to replace one another. We can have our cake and eat it too. Each series has its fans and its vision that are all distinct from each other. Mario & Luigi is more consistent than Paper Mario as well. It's the trademark weird and cartoony Mario series. Imagine if we have 3 or 4 Mario RPG series with all 4 of these series living in harmony and providing so many more unique, fun, charming Mario adventures and stories we don't get anywhere else. I want Paper Mario to do so, I'm glad Mario RPG is getting another shot, and I love Mario plus Rabbids embracing the RPG side the more weird and out there it gets. But I want Mario and Luigi to still exist. Expand on Mario and Luigi and their world, more of that cartoony charm, funnier adventures with them, development from them, Bowser, etc. There's literally no reason why we can't have like 3 or 4 Mario RPGs coexisting together. Especially with how popular Mario and Luigi was. Forget Paper Mario, because it's like, dude, you know there are people that it's like, we can't have 2 RPGs, we already have one. It's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? It's like, no, but they said we can't have 2 RPGs. Or either they use that or they actually believe, no, we can't have 2 RPGs. We have 2 right now. We have 2 right now. We had 3 like a decade ago. What do you mean? What do you mean? Yes, we can. But at least with Super Mario RPG, Legend of the 7 Stars getting remade, I think it'll bode as a security blanket for Mario RPGs and the weirder side of Mario still continuing in those games. We could get the original character stuff in Paper Mario back, I'd hope so, as well as its original combat, but we're finally getting more Mario RPGs in general at least. And I hope and expect this remake will perform well, as well as encourage some positive influences towards it, Paper Mario, and Mario & Luigi as well. Here's hoping. Thank you for watching. More Mario content to come, maybe a Let's Play on the OG game, Mario RPG, really soon, and stay super.
Yo, hey, 妹妹，嘿，我来呀！共和大哈哈呀！拉面，嘿，来面，来个面，共和再见呀！哈哈，拉面，上手面，谢谢。